there is not a happier man in America.
It's true. Greeny, basketball on grass. It's so boring watching all this stuff right there. I mean, come on, college football. I hope it gets smoked also. I really do, because I think it's so boring, and
boring.
It is. It is boring.
Man,
you got one protection. Get the ball out quick.
Jordan.
Do all this kind of stuff. Look, I mean, we're going to see. Hey, Kingsbury says, wait till week 1. Oh, I can't wait to see week 1.
Why? What will week 1 look like that'll be different from last night?
Nothing. They're going to get whipped week 1.
That's the problem.
Look, this guy, everybody talks about this great offense and all that. Yeah, if it's fantasy football and you want points and hey, yardage, that's great. How about wins? All right, Kingsbury, let's face it, had the best player in our league. He was 13-16 with Pat Mahomes at quarterback.
In college.
How about you worry about wins?
Yeah.
And, so that's what I'm seeing.
Go back to the one protection piece of this, because that's what you were talking about in our meeting this morning. They're blitzing, they're playing different defenses, and he basically is in one protection offensive.
Right, and that's why that open edge pressure, you're going to see it all day long. And teams are going to keep doing it. Their answer is the quick little hitch, screen, or slant, and all that. Well, guess what? The routes, the DBs are going to know that. They're going to be sitting on these guys. They're going to challenge them, get in the face of these receivers, and they're in for a long season. And they better get that running game going, or they're going to get run out of town.
Now, Sam, I want to get your thoughts on this in a minute, but first, we need to explain for the audience who may not have seen it, this business with the clapping of the hands, Jordan. This was a very big story coming out of last night. 2 false starts for this. Now, we see quarterbacks clapping their hands all the time back there. What made this a penalty?
Well, it's a rule, plain and simple. I mean, that's the rule. You can't do that. In my quarterback mind, I'm like, how's that different than Peyton Manning getting in, snapping, doing this, from the gun? But it's a rule. So it's something you have to communicate. A rookie head coach has got to know that. His rookie quarterback has got to know as well. I don't necessarily agree with it. I don't think it was too demonstrative at all, but...
Yeah, that's not the rule, though. The rule, to me, the way I saw it, was that it can't be abrupt.
And that's, I think it was literally the clap action.
Maybe we need to zoom in, but that's a little...
Completely. I think it's ticky-tack, but it literally is because he's doing this. It's the clap. If he's doing this, it's not. You know what I mean?
Well, they called it twice.
Greeny, the league clearly sent a message. We don't want to see this garbage, like all this stuff. That's it. Like, come on. Let's get rid of it right now. And don't give me all this stuff. Like, you're right. Those two are great examples. Sam, I totally agree with you. He was doing this. They don't care. They were going to throw those flags because we've seen the guy go like this. We've seen it. And it's been a rule for 100 years, in this league. So, to me, they sent a message, hey, listen, we don't need all this grade school stuff.
Well, listen, I've been watching football a long time. I've seen quarterbacks clap their hands back there, particularly if the play clock is running down and they're clapping saying, get me the snap back here. So obviously there's something different about this. Drew Brees had an issue with this at one point as well. Mm-hmm. They believe that it is an attempt to draw the defense offside, and that's essentially what they're called.
Exactly, Greeny. I mean, because they're doing it. It's not just like in a natural rhythm, which he did the rest of the game. It's when they're trying to hard count.
But then, so how do you hard count the gun? Because you're allowed to do it from under center. You can head bob. You can you can get loud and demonstrative.
Right.
And he's always going to be in the gun.
We're going to have to get an explanation for this at some point, and we'll see if it winds up being a problem. Meanwhile, Sam Ponder, for those of you who don't know, she's from Phoenix. She's a Cardinals fan. Give me your takeaway from last night and your level of concern.
Look, it's hard because at the end of the day, we all know it's preseason, okay? So every time we overreact either way. When he played great in week 1, we were all super excited. Everything's great. Then week 2, he struggles a little bit. The biggest concern to me is between the ears. And Jordan, we've talked about this. I'm not concerned about Kyler Murray. This is a confident dude. I don't think this is the same situation they had last year with Josh Rosen, because I think that rattled him early. I don't think that's going to be the case.
All right, let me give you the numbers here. The Cardinals' final tally last night with Kyler Murray at quarterback, 15 plays, negative 13 yards. He threw for just 12 yards on 8 attempts after racking up 44 passing yards on 7 attempts in his 1 series in the preseason opener. So tough night for him.
Thanks for watching ESPN on YouTube. For more sports, highlights, and analysis, be sure to download the ESPN app. And for live streaming sports and premium content, subscribe to ESPN Plus right now.